Kamisu is known for a quiet coastal city here where the sun shines bright and the winds carry strength across the fields. But for the next 5 days, it will be a city that will transform the ultimate battleground, hosting the fiercest competition in the region. Welcome to the Asia Oceanic Ultimate Championships. And my name is Jonathan Santos, and together joined with me is the lovely Avril Tam, who will be your voice on the field. So welcome, Avril.
Thank you, Jonathan. It is beautiful to be here in Kamisu, Ibaraki. Beautiful Japan. We can see the sun is shining brightly. And just in the background there, the flags, a little bit of wind going from right to left of screen. You see mud here in the light kit. They will be starting on offense. And we have Mavericks on the right, starting on defense in dark.
That's correct. And I think a quick note between these two teams, they actually last battled in last year's All Japan Championships, and I think Tokyo Mavericks won in that game, so it'd be interesting to have these two teams fight it out in the first game.
Yeah, certainly two teams who know each other very well. They are two of the top club premier women's teams in Japan, both having played at the last cycle of the World Clubs and both looking to make their mark in World Clubs coming up next year.
So we have Mud will start offense here. We'll start on the brick mark.
Got that wind already, just forcing that to go out of bounds.
And here we go, quick pass there, down on the sideline, and they stick with a great block for Mavericks, and they have a chance to get their first break. Quick swing down the middle, looking for options. Opts to a short pass to that side, on the right side of the field. Moves it to the other. Treading pass, but is blocked by Mud, and they get a chance to get their score. Two quick turnovers for both teams now.
As we said, the wind really pushing, a bit unpredictable, pushing those discs up and down, but here we go, long shot.
And they go, will go be a 1-1 battle, and he gets it to go. Mud with their first score.
Ogawa there showing her experience, just making sure she preserved that space under the disc. That was a very difficult one going over her head, but she tracked it well, never lost sight of it. Safe clap catch in the end. So a little bit messy for the first point, but Mud getting away with their first hold.
That's correct. And I think as the game progresses, there will be definitely some adjustments with the wind now picking up. It looks like, as you look at the replay, and that floaty hawk towards Ogawa. As you mentioned earlier, Ogawa has excellent experience throughout national and international tournaments, so we'll likely see her perform at a high level in these next few points in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoyed watching her at the World Ultimate Championships last year in the Gold Coast, and she's played multiple World Games and World level tournaments, so showing her experience on this long-standing Mud team. And we have here pictured the Mavericks. So Mavericks, one of the newer women's clubs here on the scene, but having really risen up in the ranks the last few years. In fact, they won the All Japan Club Championships in 2023. 2024, they decided to split their roster, so they had two teams in the Club Championships. One of the teams, I believe it was River, that came second to Mud in the final. So a rematch of last year's National Championships.
Interesting to see here. Looks like Maverick, they were a little bit in an H horizontal stack, but now move into a vertical stack. So interesting to see. But excellent man-to-man defense set by Mud, giving trouble for the handlers.
And so the defense doing really well to force Mavericks, not gaining too many meters forward. You see covering the undercut, but Mish Phillips jinks and gets free.
And the same side, continuous pass on the same side now. Looking for options. I'm thinking she's going to send it to the middle. Stall count is rising, but able to swing it down the middle. Mavericks so far patient with the disc. Threading pass there to the open side. They're right at the edge of their end zone. Fakes that forehand pass. Continues. Number 56 has his disc. And it looks like, oh, great coordination between the handlers and the cutter there. And so far, it's just with 56 now with the disc. Opts for a forehand pass right to the break side, and they get the score. Ties the game at 1-1.
What a way for Mavericks to get their first clean hold. That was certainly a difficult point. You saw really pressure defense by Mud, covering all those under options. The handlers having to swing it side to side to really just keep possession and reset the stall count. But interestingly, I think really what proved to work in the end was some really hard upline cuts to the open side. Even if the throw didn't actually come up, it really opened up that swing. And you see Imanishi here alongside Kitahashi. She just looks, waits. You see that upline strike there by Mish Phillips, and that opens up the break side here. And a lovely score to finish. That was by Kosuge.
And to your point, I think they're leveraging, and that's really about with in Ultimate, really. It's that those quick fakes to really open up the space to the other side. And I think it just proves here where just one subtle fake to the forehand will open up their space to the backhand side, or the break side rather.
So Riko Yanagara, she has also had a ton of international experience in recent years. She is one of the up-and-coming stars here at the Mavericks. I think interesting that Mavericks is a much younger team. Like I said, they've got some very experienced players already for their youth, but certainly very different to the well-established Mud contingent.
And here, floaty pass, but able to grab it. Thought about that forehand hook, but opts to swing it to the middle. Mud making quick work. They're already 1/4 towards their end zone. Patient moves to the break side. Mud looking forehand hook is going to be sweet. Signed and delivered for their second score.
That's a nice settling clean hold for Mud after they gave up possession on that first offensive point. You saw them really make use of that classic inside flick, right? That classic Japanese style. That certainly opened up the field. I think a bit of confusion with the defenders on who was covering that deep option in the end. Way too much paddock. Here we go, that lovely inside there. And then immediately they know each other so well. They know the spaces they want to attack. And Nishide with the score there to finish nicely.
And I think something to notice there, at least for Mud, how they quickly adjusted their throws. I mean, they got really super comfortable already in this point versus the first point where they had an easy turnover in their first point. So I think given that they know in terms of how strong the wind is here in Japan, for sure, makes no surprise in how they can quickly adjust their throws.
Absolutely. I think Japan really well known for their skill with the disc in particular. And so look forward to seeing some of the craft on display. So very quickly, Mavericks already working it up to half field. Kitahashi now, she seems to be a real axis handler here. It's forced out wide.
And here's a quick throw here. Couple of players, but looks like a block from Mud as they get a chance for a break.
Agawa there, reading that play like a book. She is a very handy receiver herself, so knew what the receiver wanted in that space. That one hung up a little bit too long, just allowing Agawa to have time to actually get in a good position and swat that one away.
This is going to be interesting as Mud will have a chance to break with the wind on their side now.
Yeah, it might be quite crucial in terms of this downwind opportunity if you can get this.
Great upline cut there. And it looks like a threading pass towards the end zone will be enough, but just too fast and too strong for her teammate. Oh, and he shoots her own backhand pass and able to get a great grab and jumping ability to secure that play.
So Kanuchi wants the inside and left completely poached, but didn't take the option.
Oh, short pass forehand is complete right here on the open side, and they get it for their second score.
Beautiful work by the Tokyo Mavericks. Didn't give up despite not managing to secure the catch on that first option. this time around. They make sure of it. And really interesting, John, early days I know, but I've noticed that Mavericks are really attacking that open side.
Yes.
And, you know, Mud may be looking more for that traditional inside. You know, we'll have a closer look as we go on in terms of what the defense is doing, but I think either it's a strategic move on that they are attacking the open side and really making use of it here, as we see, or potentially more to do with, you know, the defense of Mud covering that inside option.
So usually we haven't seen a major adjustments yet on the defensive side. It's usually just straight man-to-man defense now. So I'm interested to see when either teams will throw a zone there for sure.
Yeah, certainly, like you said, with the wind, it might be an opportunity.
But I think these are usually these points, these early points where they just really try it out just to see what will work from a defensive point of view. I'm sure there will be a lot of changes as we approach half.
Yeah, surely, you know, with offense going upwind at the moment, you'd expect if they keep trading holds, you'd expect them to try and see a zone just to mix it up. Saying that, you know, match defense, both defenses have managed to get possession.
Exactly. Here's Mud now. Looking, someone streaking deep, but that pass was holstered. Opts to a swing to the middle.
So defense of the Mavericks really forcing a high stall. Dump, trying to shake and bake, eventually gets straight. Must have been stall 8 or 9.
Oh, a threading pass there to be able to break. And a hawk downfield, but just too strong. And way off to the open side for any chance for Mud to get it. Mavericks with another chance. Oh, poachy defense from the Mud player, able to secure that, and they have a chance to get it back. Great read there from the handler defense.
Very short field to work with. Agawa again, disc in hand now.
And here moving to the middle. Forehand pass is grabbed and plucked from the air. Reeled in by Nemoto.
Very well done. That poach block really made such a difference because they had such a short field to work with, John, right? And that was really well done on the open side there. So early days, both teams just trading holds at the moment. We see here on the replay, Agawa here, disc in hand. So interesting, it's a backhand force there on the mark, but in the end they were broken on that around. So Mud showing their disc skills, not afraid to get in the way. Very good field awareness. We spoke about these teams knowing each other well. Like you said, the most recent All Japan National Championship last year was won by Mud. But I think coming into this World Clubs cycle now, both teams will be looking to fine-tune. It has to be said, though, that today, you know, we have been told that a few players missing from the roster, you know, unavailable due to work and other commitments. So these teams might actually be looking quite different, you know, when we get to the pointy end of the tournament.
When we get to the long stages of the tournament. And you can see here, it looks like a zone defense now being implemented by Mud.
Yeah, well called, John. And it's a pretty flat force, more of an arrowhead style, but they have broken through really well, Mavericks. And
and there shoots down here. Mavericks, a one-on-one battle, but able to reel it down. Is it a score?
Ooh, there might be some chat that was down, so very well-spirited there by...
But amazing presence of mind to still try to get that in. And a quick hawk downfield, able to secure it. Two players with Mud. They have a chance for a break point, and they get it. Mud secures their first break point.
Way to get that break. Mavericks went for a long huck option, just turned at the right time. That defender was completely out of position, but manages to just get a small tap on the disc and affect that catch. And a beautiful replay here. Oh, just that little swat away. And a very spirited call. Immediately knew she did not have control. So that down call. But you see how quickly that was almost a full field huck here, nearly at the brick mark, basically. And there we go. 1, 2, 3 passes, easy as you like. So Mud absolutely on the ball, getting that turn and immediately setting up for a perfect offensive break.
And I think that was by design. Like, I think they had talked about this. If they were able to get the disc from that zone defense. Someone's got to streak. You see 3 players from Mud already streaking downfield towards their end zone. It looks like it was by design. And I think it's really the point where we're able to get that that bid or that turnover.
Yeah, I think also using the wind to the advantage, right? We said that, you know, this is the downwind direction. So they knew that they could get extra purchase, extra distance on the disc. I think Mish Phillips was very brave to put up that big huck going upwind, and she definitely got the distance. But with that slight upwind direction, it means that the disc holds up in the air just that little bit longer, giving the defenders more of a chance. So Mud absolutely making use of these conditions. And we do have a heat break. So with the temperature at the moment in the 30s, the heat break rules are applying. So when one team reaches 4, we'll have a heat break, and then the usual half when a team reaches 8, and an additional heat break when one team reaches 12.
So just looking at the channel, and thank you for everyone for joining in today's match here on Field 1. So if you just joined us today, we have 2 fields actually that streamed here in Field 1 on Showcase Fields, where both myself and Avril are commentating, and then we also have another live stream in Field 2. Someone's asking when is a game with Twig. It's actually happening right now on Field 2, so if you just go through the channel, the WFDF YouTube channel, there will be 2 channels there, Field 1 and Field 2. And I hope you can be able to enjoy 2 excellent games live stream here.
Yeah. Very interesting, the Twig versus Ellipsis, so it's Australia, New Zealand, so a very good rivalry there. Of course, New Zealand in the last edition, so we had AOUGC in 2023, where the gold medal match was the New Zealand mixed team and the Australian mixed team, and New Zealand actually got away with the chockies, so I'm sure they'll be looking to try and repeat those efforts in a successful campaign.
Okay, all right, we just learned that Field 2 has some technical difficulties with the stream, but once that's on, for sure you'll be able to watch those games as the tournament progresses.
Yeah, make sure you stick on to the World Flying Disc Federation YouTube page. That's where all of the streams will be coming, so stay tuned. We'll be here from today until Sunday, so plenty of jam-packed action over the next 5 days, John.
Exactly, and we really appreciate the 297 people that's streaming, or watching rather, on the stream, and one of them definitely is my lovely daughter, Ellis. I know she definitely misses me. She's already made me not go here. Actually, like say, why am I not coming? I say you can hear my beautiful voice to her. But I definitely miss her and my whole family, of course, with my wife Roma and my other daughter Lara. So good to have you guys watching the stream.
Shout out to the Santos family there. I'm sure they're enjoying good time missing Daddy, but his soothing tones, I'm sure, will provide plenty of soothing relief.
I'll have a check if I do have a soothing voice. But back in the action here, Maverick looks to try to recover, and you see Mud now opting to go back to man-to-man defense, and makes sense with the wind just going towards to the end zone of Maverick. So not surprised that they will stick to a man-to-man defense. So quick movement left to side, and a forehand hawk, sharp as it is, caught and delivered for Maverick's 3rd point.
Well done to the Mavericks. Pretty much a copy and paste, actually, of what Mud just did. They went for a big huck, and then it was a couple of shorter passes. Really went very quickly to attack that deep space. So I like the looks at the moment. Both teams playing very aggressively on offense.
Correct. And that was actually number 10, Yuyu Nakai, for first score. And just to give and look at the replays, the quick side-to-side movement, and
you see that point and shoot by Yanagara. I think that was very well controlled disc, right? It was a low huck. It had to be really on point because it was going to float out the back if it was any higher. So I think she made a really good decision there with that release point and the technique on that huck.
Pinpoint huck it is rather. And so far for Mavericks, right? It's usually Kuzuge, well, not usually, but right now Kuzuge is leading Mavericks with 2 goals already, followed by Kitahashi with 2 assists.
Interestingly, on this line, Yanagara and Ugai, as well as a couple of others, have actually remained on field. So they're playing 2 points in a row. I wonder if there's a particular reason why. Tactical move? I'll keep an eye.
Oh, and as I said, the hawk downfield is floating right to number 5's hand. Beautiful pass. and caught by Ono for their 5th point.
What a beautiful score. So both teams having no hesitation to go for the big hucks downwind. Absolutely pinpoint pass there. Ono reading it over the head. That assist was from Takada.
Let's look at that beautiful hawk. And already had her decision to throw it to Ono there. And that was just easy pickings.
I think Ono had set up that cut so well. She had driven her defender under, and so there was space at the back. So even if the disc floated longer than she thought, she actually had plenty of buffer space away from her defender.
So Mud maintains that 2-point lead, and I think probably the reason why Maverick had some players playing 2 points, they really want to get, I guess, probably get back that break point that they gave earlier.
And this one's a lower huck now, making it almost to the break mark.
And here's Maverick now, trying to make quick decisions to move it downfield.
Kitahashi again really marshalling this offense in the handler space. Fakes along, but opts for the open under.
When someone's open from the top line, caught, backhand pass is secure. They're right at the edge of their end zone. And this is Yoshida. Yoshida swings it down to Kitahashi. Kitahashi, fake. It's just between these two players, but great handler defense now. Stall count is definitely rousing. Had no choice but to send it there, but able to reel it in. Great presence of mind to get that score.
That was an incredible high-release backhand. Kitahashi, as we've said, being a real solid axis handler for this Mavericks offense. She was presented several options. In the end, all well covered by the Mud defense. Must have been a stall 8, stall 9 throw. In the end, Mish Phillips with those long limbs, reaching out and grabbing those on the fingertips.
And great presence of mind to have that soft touch as we take a look at that amazing read and catch. Excellent man-to-man defense on that handler. It forces that pass.
Yeah, that dump defense was exquisite, wasn't it? And they almost ran out of room as well. You know, had to watch her feet and get control of the disc. So very well done there by Phillips to score that one for Mavericks. So it'll be interesting, like we talked about the All Japan National Championships. I mean, these two clubs have played earlier this year as well in the qualifying tournament in May. That one, Mavericks came away with the win. So Mavericks certainly condensing back to the one team this season, I imagine, as we've talked about the prep for the World Clubs next year. And so they're looking to try and capture the title again.
So as you can see, the ball goes.
And that one's out of bounds, so take her time to bring the disc back in.
And it looks like they don't opt to go to the brick mark, and rightfully so, as the disc went. Oh, the hawk, rather, but the pull was a little bit short now. And look, Mavericks, or rather, Mud.
Yeah,
has a short field to work here.
Yeah, unfortunate. It's always tough on those upwind pulls. Definitely not one game to try.
Oh, and looks like a forehand is going to be denied. Phillips with the block to give Mavericks a chance to tie this game.
And again, that downwind direction with a shorter field to work with. Actually very difficult control.
Correct.
Those kind of longer, hucky, floaty throws, right?
I was thinking like they could have holstered that pass and made a much more shorter and less risky pass, but Mavericks swings it down the middle. Great up like that, but just bobbled through her fingers. Unfortunate error. Mud now, chance is looking. Oh, and there goes that forehand pass, and great effort from Maverick player, but sticky hands from Mud to get their 6th point.
Takada really showing her throwing prowess. She's been stuck in some situations a few times now with a high stall count, but in the end identifies that space out wide. Her defender was Mish Phillips closing in hard, but eventually manages to secure the catch and a hold. So interesting now. Both teams with opportunities to try and get the break, but maybe not making the most of them.
Correct. Like in terms of, and we look at that floaty forehand pass, and Phillips was just right there. Game of inches, as we all know.
I think that was Nakanishi with the score there as well. It looks like she was just kind of getting into position and the throw came earlier than she anticipated. Correct. But really good presence of mind to have awareness that this was coming. Just a little change of direction to get steadied and get control of that one.
We'll see how Mud responds with this. I wouldn't be surprised if they would throw a zone defense here. But no, they will opt to do a man-to-man defense.
I think it's always hard in that downwind direction to throw a zone because it's very difficult to protect that deep and back space.
Forehand pass is complete. Trap on that side. Sticking on that side so far. And a forehand hook to the break side is read perfectly for the block. And Mud, the chance to widen the lead. Someone streaking deep, but opts to swing it down the middle to their handlers. Mud.
Takada almost playing every single point at the moment. We did talk about the shorter rosters. It's a long game of Ultimate here. See if they've got the endurance to stick with it.
And Mud, backhand hook. It's going to be 2 against 1 and a grab to get that disc back for Mavericks. '94 now has the disc. Sends it forward now. Up to the break side for Mavericks. Oh, yeah, Shug. Oh, great read to block that backhand hook.
Again, Agawa in that space, reading exactly what they wanted. So both teams now wary of the long game, both having had a lot of success so far.
Oh, cheeky forehand pass.
Very
nice. Beside the defender. And this one's as cheeky as well. Floats, but Mud able to secure it now. Dumps it back. Oh, and a backhand pass right over the defender. I think just too high and too difficult of a pass to read.
I think both defenses are doing really well to hold things up, force some high stall count throws, having to go for either, some high release options with the float, giving their defenders opportunity to block. So, like we said, both teams very familiar to each other, knowing what each other want and able to stop those first 1, 2, 3 looks.
And here's Maverick with the chance. Swings it to the middle. No defense, but looks like, not sure if they were trying to do a sort of a poachy defense, but now they're back to a tight man-to-man defense. And another backhand hook going all the way. It looks like it was a miscommunication there. It was for another player.
That's right. Ugai and Ishii were both in the deep space. Ugai thought it might have been her, so chopped out the mitts, but I think that was actually meant for Ishii out the back. Very, very flat huck, and this is the second flat huck that we've seen Yanagara throw from
that same side.
Yes,
correct.
Yes, from this direction. And so just a little bit too spicy to stop for Ugai, who, great awareness to know that it was coming, but maybe didn't realize it may not have been for her.
And a flat mark will start by Mavericks, and that almost caused a turnover, but 60 able to reel it, and they're quickly down the middle now. Quick movement by Mud. So far, Mud taking the chance, and not sure there's one person that's not being marked so far. Some miscommunications on D by Mavericks, and a backhand to the to the end zone. No good.
That was a little too low. That upwind direction didn't get enough float on the disc. And despite great effort by laying out, just wasn't able to connect. So this is a multi-turnover point, John. The first one where we've actually seen it really extend.
It's interesting to see how long. And the score is 6-4. And I think this is, to your point, the longest point for both teams. So with a short line and all so far, we'll see how that goes throughout this game. And Mavericks trapped there in their end zone, but able to move it quickly forward. Mavericks now. Quick passes on the open side. And continues right there. And they reel it in for their 5th point.
And that was Yanagara versus Ishii. I think that was the original combination that was attempted, and Ugai unfortunately got in the way, but this time they do make it work. So again, Yanagara showing really nice disc control in this downwind direction. Those flat hucks, very precise, very high level of difficulty. So very, very, very impressive here by Yanagara and the Mavericks. You see here that upline power position. Her defender comes off. They switch the mark to try to cover this deep because they saw Ishii coming, but the switch was a little too late to protect that deep space.
And I think you notice most of the Mud players were trailing behind, and rightfully so. It was a long point, so I'm definitely for sure fatigue played a factor on that point.
So Yanagara and Ishii were both Team Japan representatives at the World Ultimate Championships in Gold Coast last year, so both high-level players there connecting. And Ishii, in fact, I think has come back from an ACL. She did that injury at the World Championships, so really nice to see her back on field a year later here.
Correct. I think it's just awesome to see any players recovering from an injury like that and still be able to play high-level Ultimate. And wish nothing but the best for all the players here. Hopefully no major injuries. So I know how hard each players and each teams have prepared for this for sure.
Yeah, we've got some fantastic volunteer contingent here in the first A tent, as well as all over the pitch, our scorekeepers, our timekeepers, the coordinators, the transport officers. So many people involved in making this a fantastic tournament, John.
Rightfully so, and this is just still day 1. So really appreciate all the people, and we still have more volunteers coming down in the later parts of the day of this tournament. So we'll definitely need all the help we'll get. Just like that now, Mud. And looks like Mavericks is sort of a zone defense of sorts.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a 2-3-2, or there may be a bit of a cut, but there lots of switching, lots of kind of poaching. Can see, yes, so that defense absolutely worked so well, forcing to that narrow channel, forcing that errant throw.
And that was excellent zone defense given that the wind was downfield and all, so Mud had all the chance to really score that point. And now Mavericks, a chance and able to tie this game up 6-all. Amazing adjustment from Mavericks there to be able to cause that turnover. It looks like from that zone defense, it was really forcing. There was a lot of junk in the middle, so not a lot of options for a forward pass. And that resulted in a turnover by Mud.
Agree. They worked that under space so well. Basically, no upline, forcing them to go that sideways. It was a very narrow channel. We actually saw the defender poach off that dump mark, but that actually caused them to throw in this tiny little area, and then the errant throw. Kanuchi now picks up, moves it quickly, and Imanishi, Kanuchi already setting up. You can see the cut, that little jab step, and then that away cut. So Mavericks, they get the break back, and we are back to 6 apiece.
And timely at that, right, as we're close to approaching to half. So anyone's ball game for sure.
And plenty of international experience for both Imanishi and Kanuchi. So Imanishi, having played for Fury in the States for a few seasons, now returning to Japan. In fact, she's a rookie for Mavericks this year. So what a pickup. What a pickup for Ricky. And Kanuchi, who has come across a couple of seasons to Perth, Australia, my hometown, and played with my club team Chaos. So absolute pleasure to have her as part of our community.
And it looks like Mavericks will still stick to that zone defense, see if they can get another break at that, especially with the wind in their favor now.
As you said, lots of bodies here, just covering the under option. Lots of head checking you can see here, forcing Mud to go around and side to side.
I think that's the point now. That's the side. As you can see, it's going to be troubles for Mud. Oh, great attempt there, but nice fake to make that defender lay out and open the field up for her. But still, again, Mavericks, excellent zone defense.
Absolutely. So you can see here the kind of cup. You've got these 3 or 4 players moving side to side. Kamisu, number 13, kind of hanging in the middle. Or this time, they just caught the defenders with their back and not head checking, and that's how they got through that hole.
Threading pass right down the middle and that wall, and now Mud. Quick 1-2 between the handlers.
I'd like to see a little bit more movement from the Mud offense, that kind of second layers or the poppers. Come into the cup and try to make the cup move a little more.
But just as you said, that great threading pass by Mud to force Maverick to go to a man defense now. And Mud, excellent response from Mud there. Just as you thought that Mavericks able to read, and there, 7th score by Mud.
Beautiful way to work it against that zone defense. Mud had to be very, very patient with the disc, just choose those open options, initially having to move from side to side. In the end, finding those holes, as you said, the throwing prowess, threading the needle through some of those cups. Interesting, different strategies to work through the cup. I thought that there may have been some opportunity, as we see here on the replay. Once they made it through and broke through, much easier with the Mavericks scrambling to get in position. And against this match defense, they certainly have been fairly comfortable. And again, that away cut, so it's good work by Yoshida to try and help with some help defense. But we remain on serve for now, John.
And that's like an excellent response by Mud. Like, great adjustment for Maverick. That's the first adjustment that you can see where, okay, I'm going to give you a different look there and see if you can hang with us. And Mud just able to really thread passes in between the wall of that great defense, zone defense by Maverick.
And as we said, both teams with short rosters today, it's quite hot. So as the point drags on, the defenders in that front wall or that front cup, it's a lot of work in the legs to go side to side, up and back. And I think maybe fatigue, as the point stretched out, they weren't able to respond and cover as they would have liked and let them in.
Oh, and a quick forehand. Oh, great jumping ability, but thought that number 10 was able to save it, but looks like Mud will get it back. Great read to stop that hawk.
Again, Mavericks opting for those low hucks. Mud just having the heads-up play to try and get in the space. And here they go, trying to extend a break. Oh, and that's a fantastic layout D there by Suzuki.
Amazing leaping ability to stop that play, and Mavericks will get it back.
So a couple of high-octane plays and layouts both ways to try and save the disc. But this one, Suzuki just comes from up deep space, sneaks in front, reads that line. Beautiful layout D.
Great, moment there for Suzuki to read it, because if she wasn't there, it was going to be an obvious score for Mud. And here's Mud. It looks like they're going to, in reply, give... Ooh! Oh, leaping catch and all, able to save that play. Amazing.
Layouts galore this point. We are in for a ride here. Now Mavericks trying to work their way up, patiently waiting for the options. Beautiful insight to Suzuki.
And here we go, forehand pass. Up, but just an unfortunate, but looks like a call is being made, a foul called that caused that Maverick player to tumble down on the ground.
I think the feet just got a little bit tangled with each other. But some fantastic layouts.
Exactly.
So Yanagara now getting in on the action, making sure she wasn't shown up. And I think that's an accepted foul, as we see with the hand signals there. Game advisors here for support to help with clarification of rules. Oh, and there might be a travel call. Some kind of call, so the throw is going to go back.
And it looks like that, the Mavericks will have that chance to replay that point. Stall count is rising, but able to dump it back to her co-handler. They're moving back now. Not a lot of movements from the cutters with Mavericks, but able to read in, fakes that backhand pass. Swings it to the other side now for Mavericks.
So again, the Mud defense working very hard to protect that under space.
Oh, and a great block, but able to reel it in. Mavericks, great presence of mind. They get the score. Ties the game at 7.
And that is bookends for Suzuki. Got that fantastic layout D in the other end zone. Ends up with the goal here. Double happiness for Naya Suzuki. And very sun-safe with that wide brim hat as well. She's spent the last couple of seasons in Australia with Club Melbourne Chile and has certainly learnt to protect herself from the harmful Australian sun rays.
Oh, it just slips through the Mud player's hands. Read it perfectly, but Mavericks able to reel that in.
Just some confusion with the Mud defenders. Naya Suzuki just steps in and says, thank you very much. No problem at all. So still on serve at the moment, John. I think this might be a game where, you know, both defenses are getting break opportunities.
Yes.
It might be about the conversion rate.
Correct. Both of the teams definitely having their chance to steal the pot. As you can see here with Mud, as you mentioned earlier, they captured the All Japan's women's title, their first in 5 years. Right? Founded in 2000 in Tokyo with their founding motto, not only win, but also enjoy. And the pull is off.
There's an offside call.
Offside call first of the day, so
that is a slight advantage of having game advisors on your field, is that they can indicate the offside call, but it's up to the players to actually make the call.
Correct.
But, you know, you get that additional information.
Exactly. So they will start on the brick mark. Forehand pass, complete. Quick movement, noticing the poached player and punishing that by Mud. I'm just curious, like it's either someone staying in the middle of that field being poached, but now it looks like no mark at all. So it's like, and now, just as I said that, someone quickly marches toward that handler. Mud, quickly, forehand pass is complete.
Very interesting point, John. I think the defense was switching, but the breakdown in communication with those switches opens up and exposes those holes and made it look really easy. We had, you know, a player unmarked for a good 5 seconds or so, and then in the end, that open side not being able to cover those switches. So a bit of a communication breakdown allows Mud to get to the first half 8-7.
See, look, yes, it's very interesting. As you can see here in the replay, no one was marking for a good 5 seconds there, and Mud able to take advantage. And they get the lead as we approach half now. And we'll be coming back for a short break in half, so do stick out. We'll stay here for the action as we return for the short break, live from Kamisu City. So we're back here from the half, and Mavericks quickly move. Layout D by Mud there. Great start for their defensive point.
And that is another D for Ogawa. She's just getting her hands on everything at the moment. Real talisman of this Mud team. And here she is as she comes on the under.
And stall count is rising, but able to swing it down the middle. Mud does. And a quick hawk downfield is going to be just off their fingertips.
Mish Phillips again getting in that deep space, just affecting that catch. Mavericks get another shot here.
An amazing start in the second half for both teams. As we can see, definitely the action quickly progressing and picking up. There's Mavericks now. Middle, almost a block. Able to reel it in. Swing it to the other side. No handlers as a moment for Mavericks. Oh, and a costly turnover just right near the end zone.
Oh, yeah. Yoshida had to work so hard to try and get free. I think the timing just didn't quite work out for Kanuchi. That was, in the end, very well covered.
Quick move into the middle for Mud. Looking for options. Quickly dumps. Number 66. Upline cut is denied, and a floaty backhand is secured. Floats right through her lap for the first score in the second half.
Mud opening their account with a fantastic point here. Again, not the cleanest points. We've got turnovers both ways, but ultimately getting those blocks done. A nice settler to start this second half.
As we look and take a look at that floaty pass. Gently lands on her hands.
Beautiful disc control again. It's interesting, I think both teams in that point have started with a 1-6 stack, so basically the person
Correct.
or handler holding the disc and then everyone else upfield in a vertical arrangement. So plenty of space to work with on both sides, and we see that ending up also making use of the width of the field as well for the score.
And on the other side, I think for Mavericks, that proved to the reason of their turnover, leaving one of their handlers without anyone to reset the disc, and that cost the turnover. Very costly, though, as well, near the end zone.
I think the stack was just way too far, so they didn't have an opportunity to have that fill or that other kind of saving cut coming from the stack because they were too far away to make a viable cut. So maybe just adjusting their positioning could help them out of that trouble.
Here's Mavericks. Floaty pass. Oh, amazing squeeze.
Yet again, coming up big with the block. My goodness, Mud, getting stuck in.
No pun intended at all, but amazing read to just squeeze herself in there. They're able to get that bid.
They're doing really well at kind of hiding
Yes.
behind that cut, right? So that it looks like an open cut, and then they accelerate and take those extra 2 steps to intercept.
And here's Mud.
Completely poached play.
Again.
So again, the switches, the communication not quite managing to cover those options. And another high shot.
But a great read, able to get it. Saves that play for Mud. Down the middle now, quickly to the backhand side for the 10th score.
And Mud off to an absolute flyer. That extends the lead, in fact, the biggest lead of the game so far, to 10-7. And Mud will be very pleased. Very efficient as well when they get the disc in hand. They do seem to switch on quite quickly. Make some good options. And good decisions with the disc, I think. So, again, this kind of arcing, like slightly bladey flick, I guess, using that width of field, going cross-field over the top of all the other players. And then they manage to basically dump and swing around, and really difficult for the defense to catch up once they've been broken.
And a great presence of mind from everyone from Mud, like realizing some players can save the play for sure. And Mud
Mud absolutely looking the champions that they are and were from last year. As we said, Ogawa, absolutely a shining light, but ably supported by Takada as well. We've seen Nemoto really get involved too, so those three players an absolute highlight, I think, so far in this game.
So far, indeed, and just Mud really taking advantage of those turnovers, to your point. Like, they really have that, they have that mindset of, if we get the disc, let's take care of it as much as we can. Because, in this game, definitely, turnovers are huge. Being able to, get those turnovers and convert them.
Yes,
huge.
Absolutely. I think, like you say, both teams are creating opportunities, but actually converting them is another matter. As we see Mud now come down with a zone. I think this is the first one we've seen. 3 at the front, and then 2 in that kind of second wall, and 2 out deep.
And let's just see how they respond. And looks like great communication by Mud players. But just as I said that, Mavericks quickly decapitates that zone defense.
And Ishii now pointing directions, telling Imanishi, I want you there. She does oblige.
And it looks like they're still sticking to that zone defense, Mud. And threads that, and Maverick threads against that zone defense.
Very interesting decision to hold the zone all the way because they've got a very short field now to work with. As you can see, the short, quick, small ball movement here by the Mavericks. Now they opt to swing around. So having faith in and trust in their zone now. They've done well to hold things up. Need some more movement from the Mavericks downfield players, though, to try and move that cup and move that wall. They cannot rely on just moving it side to side through their handlers.
And I think this is more of a, if I'm Mud, it's more of like a mental decision. Like, no, we're going to stick to our guns here. Really try to force the Aero Mavericks. More of a mental play.
I mean, they are up 10-7, like I said, biggest margin of the game so far. So why not give it a shot? Oh, and there they finally pop it through with that upfield cutting from the backspace. Imanishi to Yanagara.
Great patience from Mavericks there to be able to respond in kindly of that zone defense. But still, if I'm Mud, I'd still consider that as a win. Saying,
yes.
Hey, look, even though they were able to get it near their end zone, we were still able to make them forced to make other passes.
Yeah, and force them to throw lots of sideways passes as well. The fact that their number of passes but not many meters gained, I think that's really a sign of a fantastic defense. They forced what they had intended to force. And we talked about the movement. So it was very static, that side-to-side movement. We didn't see a lot of the poppers coming from downfield, and that meant that the zone defense could actually kind of stay pretty planted, right? They didn't have to kind of head check and adjust for some changes downfield. In the end, it took really the handlers actually striking up, and Yanagara there for Imanishi there succeeded in the score in the end.
If I'm Mavericks there, they have to be mindful of that, of not just letting the handlers do all the action. At some point in time, they're going to get extremely tired with all that short passes, try to just really break that zone apart.
And I think, like, with zone offense as well, you do have to, really play as a team, right? Because you might, make some popping movement or make some cuts. You may not get the discs, but you actually might open it up for your teammates. So you have to be kind of selfless, and it's a team sport, right? So that's a way to open up some of those holes and really force that zone to have to think and move.
And see how Mavericks respond. They're down big in this second half, and they're going to stick to, moving from a man-to-man, now moving to a zone now. I'm going to say that we're going to see a lot of zones in the second half.
Yep. Interesting after a lot of match play was successful, but again, I think the defense giving offense some different looks to keep the teams on their toes. And also, try some things out, right? Like, this is early in the tournament. It's a pool play match. You want to try some of your different strategies, see what works, see what might not work so well, have an opportunity to work on the ones which need a bit more refinement. So this is absolutely the time to do it.
Correct. And the pool play action, right, just to recap, we have 6 pools, right? And at the top of the pool, we'll have a direct entry to the semis.
Two pools of 6.
2 pools,
yes.
right? Two of the pools, we have a direct entry to the semis. So,
yeah, finishing top of pool is really precious here. It means that you get a little bit more rest, you get a direct path through. If you finish second or third in your pool, you do go to a pre-semi space. So that means you've got to fight for your right to try and make it to the real pointy end and opportunity to play for a medal.
Fight for your right, indeed.
So Mavericks doing very well to clog up this front field, can see this cup adjusting. And the second ball so close.
So
you can
close.
see six.
Exactly, six
all
players.
6 players, yeah. Within maybe, 10 metres of the disc? But you can see a little bit of movement from the downfield players in mud that does force that second wall to really have to adjust. You can see Yanagihara stalking that deep space.
And I like the response from Mud is like, not just the handlers are moved, but you can see there's conscious efforts from the cutters. Try to really make that pop and make the zone defense to choose. Are you going to mark me or are you going to mock the handlers?
That's right. And you can see like the defense switching as well. Yanagihara and Kato communicating really well to swap when, they've got the deep cutter here and then the other one coming under. So you can see these 2 wings. Kato and Ishii. Oh, there's Kato!
That's right on cue there. As you mentioned, able to get that block. Mavericks with a chance to lessen the gap, but just as you said, I said that, just an untimely, unforced error.
What a shame they'd worked so hard for that one.
Definitely shame. That's just really costly. Just as you were able to generate that turnover, making that simple mistake.
Conservation of greatness, isn't it, John?
Oh, someone was open there for Mud and just, another uncharacteristic error.
Maybe some fatigue now working in. It's been a long point. Both teams have been opting to play zones with the short roster and the heat. So those miles in the legs, physical fatigue setting in, maybe some of the preciseness and skill not so much. And now a huge hug. Hashizume to Yanagihara, the 2 players who did so well on D, turn it around and get it back on O.
And that shortens the gap as Mavericks get their 9th point. And that's just beautiful response. So it's definitely great to see from Mavericks be able to generate that turnover. As you look at the replay from that point by Mavericks.
And I think that was a well-earned point. Like we were literally talking about with the zone, Yanagihara was the deep. And we saw it was Hashizume, who was at that wing really coordinating well. In the end, they connect here on offense here. A beautiful shot. No hesitation by Hashizume. I love that look. Love that throw.
And we'll see if Mavericks will still stick to that zone defense. Given that the wind now is, given that Mud will have with the wind advantage for their offense, so we'll see. I'd like to think that they would switch it up, but we'll see how this point goes. Here's Mud. And looks like they're going to stick with that zone defense. A little bit of 1-3-2 action for Mavericks defense.
Yeah, slightly different.
Oh, and a great block there by Mavericks. Able to read that perfectly. And the Mavericks, again, a chance to get their 3rd or 2nd break.
So Kasahara and Yoshida working really well. Kasahara, absolutely fantastic read there on that dump swing.
And here he goes. Oh, forehand floaty pass is going to be good. Mavericks tied the game at 10.
And they get it back to 10 apiece. Kitahashi there, used to seeing her in the handler space, this time sneaking out downfield. Phillips putting a lofty one up high. That upwind direction, plenty of float, but fantastic focus by Kitahashi to secure that one. As you see here, just read so well. Took one step, put the paw out. Sticky hands there. Kasahara, what a block. And really well controlled, making very nice decisions here, working together with Yoshida. Not afraid to dump swing. Imanishi now joins the party. And Phillips here, you can see she can see that wide space. So really impressed by both teams making use of the width of the field. Certainly making sure that they are working through their legs to get out into that open space.
And just very uncharacteristic from Mud, as when they were getting the zone defense from Mavericks in the first half. They were really taking care of the disc and making right decisions. So far in this second half, it's just quite the opposite. And maybe fatigue definitely is playing a factor.
It's hard to say, though, John. I think there's the decision-making and then there's execution, right? And, I don't think that throw was actually meant to go that far forward. I think it was maybe supposed to go a bit behind the player or slightly to the left, but maybe the execution was just a little bit imprecise, I guess, and that gave that opportunity for Kasahara to get ahead of that disc. So, yeah, I don't know that decisions have been, poorer. I think it's just the execution and fatigue that has been a factor with the heat. And there has been a timeout called by Mavericks. So both teams setting in their huddle. And the crucial part of the game now, John, 10-10.
Yes, crucial point of the game as we are close to the end of this game.
Yeah, we have 100-minute soft caps in this tournament. So still ample time to play for.
Here's Mavericks. And Phillips with that hawk. The hawk rather at bull. To start point after that timeout. Interesting that they were the one who took that timeout. Probably wanted to talk strategy and saying like, look, this is a very critical critical point to be able to try to generate some defense. And almost a turnover, but able to still reel it in. Mud does. And a change of defense. They're gonna go. Mud moves it to the break. Is looking. A 1-6 formation. Floaty forward. Backhand pass is secured. Mud. Quick side-to-side movement. Opens the field for Mud. That's a little bit low, but leaping catch by Mud to able to keep that disc alive. Threading down the middle. Mud does. Thinking about it. Forehand pass right to the edge of the end zone. And a quick dump there for Mud to get their 11-point.
Classic, that one. Just beating her defender to the cone, accelerating into that undercut. And interesting that Mavericks had opted for a match defense there. As we said, John, that was a crucial part in the game because Mud had 2 breaks in a row, then there was a hold by Mavericks, and then Mavericks got 2 breaks in a row. So definitely, teams trying to get the momentum, right? Try to keep continuing on that run of breaks. We see some beautiful vision here of the Mud team. Our media team working hard in this tournament to bring us this vision from Japan. And the replay here, some lovely movement here with the fakes. And here we go, just caught sleeping, and the defender with her back to her opponent. That is always a really tricky place to be. Once you turn your back, it's very, very difficult to make up the ground.
And Ogawa realizes that, and that's the reason why he just, no hesitation, just sprinted right towards her teammate, knowing she had full advantage.
Yeah, she caused or made her defender turn her back, which meant she could just choose wherever she wanted to go.
The second whistle made to signal the team to either start the pull.
Just a friendly reminder.
Correct, friendly reminder at that.
And just a reminder that we are playing heat break rules. So, when the team gets to 12, they do have a break to catch their breath. And Mavericks will do their best to try and bring it up to 11 all.
And here's Mud now responding with their zone defense now. Zone defense. Opts to swing it down. Losing some yardage, but able to keep that disc alive. And here we go as we approach. And a dreading pass by Mavericks, able to get it. Mavericks. Quick side-to-side action. Brings him back to the open side. Stall count is rising now. It looks like a lot of options left. Oh, cheeky dump pass there to keep that disc alive.
Still trapped on this sideline, though. They're going to have to work their way out. Again, high stall counts. Mud defense doing very well to push Mavericks backwards.
And here we go, Mavericks. Oh, backhand pass a little bit too high, but able to reel it in. Trapped to that side, and again, another floaty forehand pass. It's just too low and too short.
Layout attempt there, almost saving, but the wind pushing it down.
And here we go, a hawk, quick hawk by Mud. A couple of players right there in the great D.
Yanagihara getting upstairs. And Mavericks moving the disc quickly now, trying to make use of Mud defenders still off-footed.
And here's Mud again, going back to their zone defense. And this is where you want if you're Mud, trapped on that sideline. Stall count is rising again, but able to just get free from that man-to-man defense on the hander side. Quick side-to-side action now on the break side. Mavericks. Forehand is secured. Someone is streaking there, but someone is a little bit open momentarily, but opts to go for a forward quick pass. Literally at the edge of the end zone, but switches down or passes to the middle. Maverick.
Yanagihara telling everyone to get into the stack, so open up the sideways space.
And here we go, Mavericks. Oh, fakes that backhand. Great defense from Mud. Oh, threading pass, but just too strong. Mud secures that stop. Someone streaking deep from Mud, but no.
Tired, weary legs. You can see the players really having to drag their feet to try and get in position. That is an amazing layout grab, but called down and accepted straight away there. Fast and furious, John.
Fast and furious indeed, but definitely won't count out these players to try to make every bit possible to keep that disc alive. But at that great spirit to just quickly recognize, like, if it was really down, it was really down.
And no surprises, timeout called here. Both teams needing to get their breath back after a flurry of activity. Blocks, layouts galore. Goodness me.
Goodness me, indeed. And that timeout is definitely needed as we're progressing near to the end of this game. But just the action is definitely picking up for sure, and we'll see how Mavericks will respond.
It's been really interesting, like Suzuki and Yanagihara there. Yanagihara opened up that inside break for Suzuki, came in with a little bit too much spice. I also thought Yanagihara looked like she wasn't actually ready to take that catch, and I think throughout this game it's been quite obvious to me that Mavericks have taken a lot of inspiration from their cultural exchanges. So they went to Melbourne at the beginning of 2023. There was a Tomodachi invite there. They had a training camp there to learn from Melbourne, Chile, and the other Australian teams. They went to Windmill. They went and paired up with Grut there. Groot. And did a training camp there as well as cultural exchange. And so playing against some different styles, playing with different styles, I can see how they've incorporated that into their game, like definitely attacking that open side, being a bit more aggressive with the offense. That has been a really interesting thing to see here.
Great look at that and great insights there, as I definitely noticed, like for a Japan team, not a lot of small ball plays, as you can see that they're carefully trying to integrate different styles from those different teams that they've been, or different countries rather, that they've been training and playing with. As we get back to the action, Mavericks almost see that Mud player trailing behind, but Mavericks able to secure. That was number 10. Swings it down the middle. Almost thought it was a turnover there momentarily, but able to secure by Mavericks. Passes are getting a little bit too low than we want them to. Oh, and just as I said, that forehand pass just too strong for Mavericks.
Oh, that is a complete let-off. I'm sure that they had a lot to chat about during that halftime to try and hold, but ultimately, that one falls short. And the wind a little gusty as well. You know, it's kind of steady and then pops up and then pops down. So making it quite awkward with those longer throws when the wind can actually cause a lot of differentiation with the disc.
Here's Mud. Swings it down the middle. You can definitely notice, or you can hear in the stream, the wind's little bit picking up, and then it'll just die down for a little second there.
Unpredictability.
Here's Mud. Looks like they're in that 1-6 formation where just one-handers there, and a forehand hawk down the middle is good. Secured. Right close their end zone. Mud looking. Number 63, quick and easy pass to get their score for Mud.
And that indeed is a break to get them to the heat break at 12-10. And gosh, the Mavericks, they worked so hard to get that one. But you see Mud very pleased with their effort so far.
So far indeed, and yes, Mud definitely is taking a lot of opportunity to get that score. How are we able to know like how many minutes are left? Okay, sorry. So we're back there from that short break, and Mud getting that 12-point.
So just a reminder that it was 10-10. Mavericks held, Mud held 11-10 and then got a break 12-10. So Mud certainly having the current momentum. Oh, and there's a bit of bump and contact, but no problem play on there.
As Maverick was signaling downfield, but opts to give a short forehand pass and a backhand hawk right there, but just too far out. Trying her best to read it in, but she was just far out there.
That was a fantastic catch at full extension by Yoshida. Unfortunately, the line was just too far away.
Just way too far away. Tried her best. Thought she was a fantastic hero to try to stretch all her hands at her might, but
I think they're just having a chat about where the disc came in. I think Yoshida's saying maybe it went out a little bit before the end zone line.
Oh, that's a discussion for sure, but a costly turnover again by Mavericks as they're trying to shorten the gap. And we've had a total of 80 minutes now in this game duration. I don't think it will go to the full 100 as we're now 12-10.
Yeah, score cap being to 15 at this tournament, as we said.
Oh, Mud. Oh, almost a block from Mavericks trailing behind, but Mud able to get their sticky hands. Down the middle. Oh, cheeky backhand floaty dump there.
They've been very brave to put up a lot of these high releases.
Indeed. Oh, and it looks like a pick was called, and that's the reason why one of the Mud players was just all by her lonesome self.
Have to say, it's been a very clean game so far, John. Not too many calls. I think we just had the offside earlier, but in terms of during play, not much really to hold things up.
And that's good to hear between these two players, especially for Mud, where from last year, even though as they won the championship, they were also the highest spirited team. So that's goes well here. It shows here in the game. And here, someone streaking deep. A late decision, but great decision there. Oh, a Blady forehand pass is secured.
What a shot over the top of the stack. Over to that break side, perfectly weighted, floating into the hands. Don't you love to see it? And Mud roaring away now. That is another 2 breaks in a row to bring it to 13-10. I'm struggling to see how the Mavericks are going to come back with time starting to tick down.
Oh, just amazing. My head is just whirled around by that last pass there. So ambitious and courageous to throw that pass.
It's been interesting. We've actually seen both teams throw that same shot, right? You know, they've got the disc on the force side, flick, and then they just go, you know what? There's plenty of space out the other way. As we see Mud move it up here. Ogawa with the disc, looking for that open side shot. Again, tight pinned on this sideline, but no hesitation. Puts it out in space. Woo. Izumi, what a throw to Kita. And Mud, like we said, the momentum shift has been so interesting. It seems like every time Mud pushes forward, Mavericks pins it back. And then again, Mud pushes forward, Mavericks pins it back. This time, Mud pushing forward, will Mavericks pin it back?
We'll see. But I'm still just amazed in terms of the skill that the Mud players threw in that last point. Like, precision at best, and we'll see what Mavericks respond here. It looks like not a lot of movement with the cutters, forcing the handlers to make a play and keep the disc alive.
Yeah, so you can see some good coordination here. The initial handler or dump moving upfield, and then Yanagihara coming in for the fill. And now they move through the side. It's a low shot. Now pinned on the far sideline.
Here we go, Mavericks. They're stuck on that break sideline now. Stall count is rising, but off backhand pass is secured.
93-94, going up in the numbers and hopefully up in this game. Kato to Yanagihara. That was a beautiful shape on that backhand assist, wasn't it, John? There's that perfect angle to cut through that wind. And Yanagihara, just right in front, did not have to break stride. That was incredible disc skill here by Mavericks.
Incredible skill. And looks like the Mavericks player heard me there and say, look, we have our own skillful players as well as that, as you see from that last point.
So haven't seen too much of Karen Kato on field. She had a really big
is Mavericks. Forehand pass. Complete. Looking for options. Opts to dump it. Patient movement from Mavericks. Usually side-to-side action. Not a lot of movement, but just as I said, able to make that pass forward now. Stock. Just a cheeky pass.
What an intercept by Mud. Can they take this point to take the game?
And here we go now. Mud has a chance to seal it. Oh, almost a D.
These high releases, John.
And just as I said that, it's going to be blocked by Mavericks.
Ooh, all of these high release throws, John. Hearts in throats moments. My goodness, I thought Mud had it. I thought they were going to put it away. But Mavericks get away with it. Another shot here.
Another shot, and here's Mavericks. Oh, and a forehand hawk is going to be good for 94. Looking for some options. Opts to great patience there just to wait to settle it in, and Mavericks get their 12th point.
Oh, Mavericks, what a way to hold their nerve. Gave up possession, but good enough to get it back. That was Fuka Ugai to Azuka Shibata for a very much needed hold. They bring things up to 12-14. They're going to have to get a break here. They have created opportunities, John. Can they create another one and convert this time?
I have full confidence that Mavericks can be able to generate the stop now. Definitely in terms of what we're seeing as we take a look at that beautiful forehand hawk.
And that was Ishii to Yanagihara. So the two of them having fantastic chemistry, no matter who is throwing or who is catching. And Fuka Ugai, again, using the width of the field, like you said, having the presence of mind to hold onto the disc, wait for an open option, wait for the defenders to get out of the space. And very nicely identified there.
We'll see how Mavericks respond. Trying to generate the stop. If you're Mavericks here, do you go back to zone, or you want to go, or just want to test it out and just go back to a man and see if I'll go against man-to-man defense?
That's a good point. I would love to see them put on a zone, to be honest. I actually think their adjustments to the zone have been working well, as long as their communication holds up, right? We saw that with their match and their switchy match. Right. It did kind of break down a couple of times. So
good point there.
It'll be interesting to see. And that is a very quick closing speed by Imanishi. It looks like they have opted for a match.
And it looks like that we were talking about switching again. It looks like some miscommunication, leaving out that handler free. And I'm just a little bit confused here, but looks like you're going to switch back to that hard man-to-man defense. Yeah. Here, Mud. Oh, quickly, forehand pass. Couple of players there. It looks like it bobbles through her hand.
I think Yoshida got a finger to it, deflected the disc. So she gets things going quickly. And Phillips now trapped on that sideline, waiting for the players. You can see her looking for that long option, but not coming. So Yoshida now goes up line. Oh, she fakes a big.
Fakes a big at that. Opts to swing it to the middle. Mavericks has a chance to shorten the gap now. Forehand hawk is going to be bang!
Yoshida to Michelle Phillips. We've called that combo plenty of times. Of course, they are very good friends and have been teammates for quite some years now. And you know, when you leave Mish Phillips one-on-one in the deep space, it's always going to be a tough assignment for the defense. And Mavericks, absolutely up to the task. As we said, Mud pushes forward, Mavericks moves up. Same again. Are we going to go to Universe Point?
Seeing that, as you look at this replay to see that beautiful forehand hawk.
And, you know, the players in the stack doing so well to keep their defensive assignments engaged, to make sure that there was no kind of peel-off and no help defense. So Mish Phillips had a genuine one-on-one opportunity. Most times Mish is going to come down with that. So, well done by Mavericks. They looked down and out, John. You know, Mud had that momentum, had that ascendancy, but Mavericks saying, you know what? We got this. No problem at all.
No problem at all for sure. And it looks like, just as expected, that this will be a competitive match between the two last year's finalists. It looks like it's going to go down the wire now.
Yeah, teams taking their time to sort out their lines for this crucial point.
Just looking at how they're talking in the huddle for Mavericks.
Yeah, they're working out, I think, who's going to take this point. There may be a timeout called.
It looks like a timeout has been called, and I think it will be the last timeout.
Yep, so both teams get 2 timeouts apiece for the whole game, and I believe that is all timeouts used now. So looking ahead into the rest of pool play, so Mud is actually seeded 2 for this tournament, and Tokyo Mavericks seeded 7. Other teams in their pool are Singapore, Hibiscus, Arthur from New Zealand, and Swampy Bug, another Japanese club team. So, you know, I think these 2 teams will be certainly near the top of this pool, and I won't be surprised if one of them tops this pool. So this could actually be a very crucial match to see who gets that direct entry into the semifinals.
Exactly, to your point. Good observation. Be able to reel in the implications of pool play, right? Top of the pool gives you a chance to just go comfortably.
And make sure you stay tuned because we will have Singapore versus Arthur up next on the stream. So this has been an action-packed game. I'm sure the next one will be too.
And here's Mud. Oh, stall count is rising, but great presence of mind from the hand to just really try to get a play there to keep the play alive, a disc alive.
And very tight match defense by Mavericks now. Oh, unfortunately, Kenichi turns it back and then Mud get a free ride up field.
And looks like it'll be an easy movement here. And now, oh, Tottenham's gonna throw that forehand. Amazing man-to-man defense in the hand. There forces another Mud player right at the edge of the end zone now. Mud looking. I would have to do a flat mark if I was Mavericks here, but staying on that one side. Ooh. And Mud punches it in. Gets the dub.
And Mud with a fantastic win. Very hard-fought game against the Mavericks. And that will be 15-13 to the first game of pool play at this tournament. Some amazing work on both teams. Layouts, bids, Ds, getting down and dirty.
Getting down and dirty indeed. And Mavericks winning that game, or winning this game rather, with Takada leading the pack with 5 assists, followed by Tsugumi Kita with 4 goals. As you look at the replay and how Mud was able to successfully punch it in to get their first win here at AOUC.
Yeah, having a look, that forcing the sideline. Ultimately, they shut down the first few options. That last one just snuck through. And as we said, Takada doing a mountain of work. And I know Ogawa, stats to her name, just to 2 goals, but a key linchpin throughout a lot of their offensive linkages. And on defense, I think she's got a couple of blocks as well. So fantastic way to start the tournament with 2 of the top Japanese club women's teams fighting it out. Mud prevail 15-13.
They have definitely won, and not surprised if we can see both of these teams going deep into the tournament. Amazing way to start the day. If you think about it, 2 of the best teams, right? Just battling out. And it looks like we'll have to take a short break as we prepare for the second game. My name is Jonathan, joined with Avril Tam again. Thank you for joining in this first game, and we'll be back shortly, live from Kamisu, for the next game.